As I mentioned, we're breaking down complex movements into their core components. We're learning those core components. This exercise is the Swiss Ball Prone Cobra. There's a lot of other ways you can do this exercise, or at least achieve what we're achieving here on the Swiss ball. If you have a back extension machine at your gym and you don't have a Swiss ball, that can work well, because what we're trying to do is connect to the extensors in your back. Lumbar and thoracic extensors. So that Swiss ball goes underneath, really underneath your belly button. Think about having 70% of your weight on the ball, 30% on your feet. And then from here, you can come down and hug. And then you're going to come up, pull away, your chest away from that ball, up, 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 and hold for anywhere really up to 10 seconds. If you're new to this exercise, I would say up to 3 seconds. And as you get stronger, you can hold it for a little bit longer. I do oftentimes do this exercise for up to 10 seconds. Sometimes I actually even go up to 30. But as I increase the time under tension, or the hold, I decrease the rep and set count. Okay, now I'm back up at the top position. I just want to make a few points about this position. First of all, my hands are supinated, like I'm trying to hold a bowl of soup in my palms, palms up towards the ceiling as much as possible, thumbs back. Okay, from here I've got my extensors, my extensor chain in my back, firing, contracting, pulling my body up and away from the Swiss ball. The extensors are firing in my lumbar spine, they're firing in my thoracic spine, but not in the cervical spine. And you can see that my head, my chin is not in extension, my chin is tucked, okay? So keep that chin tucked. One way to describe this is compartmentalizing your extensor chain. So you're getting the lumbar and thoracic extensors, but not the cervical extensors. Coming back down, hugging that ball, coming up. When you get to this position, think about your shoulder blades squeezing together and also sliding down your back. The rhomboids and mid-traps firing. So you got the muscles that go across your back, you got the muscles that go up and down your back. Again, this exercise you can perform for a 3-second static hold, anywhere between 1 and 3 when you're new to the exercise. So you could think about the tempo as being something like 4-1-4 or 4-3-4, anywhere in that range. 4 seconds up, 3-second hold, 4 seconds back down again. Make sure when you count that middle number of the static hold that you are all the way contracted before you start counting, okay? I see countless people, they start counting that static hold while they're still moving, and they're really only holding it for about 1 second, okay? Make sure if you give it a 3-second hold, give it a 3-second hold. So this is the prone cobra on the Swiss ball, one of the greatest exercises you can do to develop the ability to communicate seamlessly with the extensors of your back, so that when we start integrating with the bend hip hinge pattern, then moving into deadlifts and swings and cleans and snatches and all these other different exercises, we are connected to these muscles in a way that we can rely on rep after rep after rep. And during any of these exercises, if ever we start to fall into flexion for any reason, that because we've built so much connection to these muscles and our awareness through proprioception to this area of our body is so high, that the moment it happens, we know it. We know that it happened. Oh, I felt a little bit of rounding on that one. When you feel rounding in your back, even just on the slightest little level, that's a major win. because countless people come in, they're brand new to kettlebell training, or sometimes they're not, and that's even worse. They've been training for a year with kettlebells, and they come in and show me their technique, and they're rounding their back and they have no clue that they're doing it. And I see it all the time in the gym. I see it with people coming to me as new clients. They're rounding their back and they have no clue that it's happening. And I'll actually video or take a quick shot and show them, like, this is what it looks like, this is what it should look like. We need to correct this before we continue. So knowing through proprioception and body awareness, knowing that you're starting to go into flexion in your back as your hips go into a certain degree of flexion is a major win. And the part of that win you're going to get by developing that awareness on the Swiss ball doing these prone cobras. Okay? Oh, I love this exercise. It carries over into our kettlebell training. And after 18 years of training kettlebells, I still do this exercise very, very frequently. On my day off, whatever, it's a wonderful exercise. Add it to your training, grease the groove with it for now. Make sure you are unconsciously competent and continue to assess your ability to perform this exercise. To hold, assess the static hold at the top. How long can you hold? Assess your ability for reps and sets, what you're capable of, so that you can see improvement. And also assess, how you're feeling after you're done. Also, does your range of motion increase? If you are very kyphotic, you might notice that you don't really get much extension at first, and that it takes time before your range of motion starts to develop. Okay, so assess, see how you're performing, and only progress to integrated exercises using back extension like bend pattern and squat pattern. Only progress to those once you know and you're confident that you've got this nailed.